I wasn't expecting company, but if you stay out of the shrubs and flower beds, you can stay.
Give them a wave, Pops, now that you've invited them in. We're two old guys who enjoy playing sandbox and survival games together. I'm Uncle Craig. Go ahead and sit down. Let's visit for a while.
Hey everybody, this is Uncle Craig. We're going to start a new series. This time, instead of just getting started, we're going to look at how I would go about base building. Now, I learned a lot just this last series that I did. I've been away from Minecraft for so long that there's many things that have changed that I was unaware of. And now that I know, I'm going to use those things to enhance and improve what was my previous approach to getting started and in how I would go ahead and build out a base. We're going to use Minecraft 1.20.6 this time, and what I've selected for the mod pack I'm going to use is the Sodi Banana mod pack. It's got some nice features to it. The mod packs haven't really caught up to the latest version of Minecraft yet, but I expect that they will eventually. One of the key mods that I look for is the mapping type of mod. And there's a couple of features I liked with the Optimization Plus mod pack for Minecraft 1.20.1 that I'm not going to have with this one, but this is probably the best one that I saw for my purposes, the one I like the most. So that's what we're going to use. The plan I'm going to follow is similar to what I've done in the past, but we're going to switch some things up. So I'm going to do it kind of roughly in 3 phases, but none of these are sequential. So it's not like you can put up a Gantt chart and finish one thing before you get to the next. There's a few things that are dependent, but not very many, especially at the beginning. So on the surface in phase 1, I'm going to do the same thing I usually would do, and I'll put I'll determine what the center of the mine shaft is going to be, which is right where I spawn in. That's the way I like to do things. I'm going to create the ladder system, the mine shaft itself, right where I'm standing as soon as I enter in. And I'm just going to use what's right there. I kind of like that random, try to make something of this block you just landed on. I like that kind of an approach. You'll see on the screen here that the number of squares I have there follow my old size of the sections and design. I'm going to extend that out. So we're actually going to go about 10 blocks from the center in all directions. It's going to give us much bigger sections. We can do a lot more with that. And the lighting has changed in the game. So one of the things I found out was mobs can only spawn on a block with 0 light source. So since the torch is light for 15 meters, that should give us an overlap there in the center and give us enough overlap in the corners that those should be covered. So that's how we're going to do that on the surface. We're going to use that same approach underground too in the mine shaft itself. So it won't be an 11 by 11 square. It's going to be quite a bit bigger than that. So this was my old approach, but we're going to extend that out to be that larger size. Phase 2, we're going to create 9 of those sections. So we're going to create new sections extending out from that center one at both above ground and underground. We're going to do that at least on the top level. We may not do that down below to the lower levels, but we'll do that at the top. Underground, what we'll do more often is kind of explore some of the caves and tunnels that we find along the way. We're going to go and figure out what's down there and see if we can discover some interesting things down below. Phase 3, we're going to put in place above ground. We're going to put in a residence. So we're going to take over the center 9 blocks that we have there and create 16, I think it is. Yeah, 16 blocks around that area for us to continue our farming, tree farming and wheat fields, fields for crops and animal husbandry and all that kind of stuff. That's going to happen around that residence area. Now, the building I construct is not going to take up that whole space, but it will be at least one or multiple buildings and then some grassy area, things like that once we get all done. Underground, we're going to get to the point where we have an automated incineration and sorting system set up that will utilize the entire mine shaft for that purpose, and everything that we do, even in the crops and things like that, should feed through that system. We can decide what we want incinerated and what we actually want to go back up to the storage facility, which is going to be at the top. The orange is kind of the storage area. It'll be around the outside of that 9x9 box underneath the residence, if you will, kind of around the edge of where the residence will be above ground. We have a punch list of things we're going to do. We have no idea what order those things are going to be done, but they're things that we have planned. And these all have to do with development of our base. There's, of course, other stuff we're going to do when it comes to objectives and achievements and things like that. But the main thing is the development of the base that we're on. And I put the final one there, I put in ellipses because we may come up with something else. I'm going to try to take some of your direction and take some of your hints and advice when it makes sense. I'll consider anything that you guys provide in the comments. If you see me, put something in place that there's a better way to do it, or you have some things for me to think about or consider in what I've put together, please let me know. I'll consider it and think about it. I may or may not follow the advice, but I'm an old dog who loves to learn new tricks. So anything you can give me is appreciated and helpful, and we can kind of do this venture somewhat together. This should be kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to this one. We're going to get started with base building. I should have mentioned too that what I'm using this time is Modrinth instead of CurseForge. So we're going to use Modrinth for this adventure. Now, right at the start, something I've come to do is right away set the music to 5%. Looks like I already did that here. Turn friendly creatures down to 50%. They get very annoying, especially when you get a complete farm set up. And then ambient environment, I set down to about 75%. Everything else I leave the same. And then I've started using subtitles. I saw Pixel Riff do this. I really appreciate his videos, by the way. I just really enjoy watching the videos he puts together, and every once in a while he throws out a tidbit I wasn't aware of that I start adopting, and one of them is putting the subtitles on. It takes up a bit of the screen real estate, but it's a lot of helpful information. So let's create the world. We'll call this one base building, and we'll get ourselves started.
Like, subscriber, get off my lawn.